Welcome back to another Toddy Walnuts video, and this will be my first update video for the year 2024. So I have a few things to show you guys here, including this statue that you see in front of you. This is Bolg from the Lord of the Rings movies, the Hobbit movies, and he is the son of Azog the Defiler. And where's your dad right now, Bolg? Pointing over this way. There is a over-the-head full mask for Azog the Defiler from Trick or Treat Studios, and we'll talk more about that later. But that's a pretty cool mask. I really love the orcs in the Lord of the Rings franchise, and I think these two are great. So that is Azog the Defiler. This is his son, Bolg. And where did I put my movies that we're going to talk about today? Oh yeah, there they are right there. And we're joined by the beautiful girls, as we always are. Miss Heidi on the left, Miss Hannah on the right. And I have a little stack of goodies here we're going to show you guys. So get ready, get relaxed, get a snack and a beverage, and let's check out these movies. All right, and like I said earlier, welcome back. Good to see you. Um, it's a little bit overdue for a new video, I think. I planned to do one last night, but I was way too tired to record a video last night. So also, I do have a new setup here for recording. So I upgraded a phone. I went from the iPhone X and I upgraded to the 15 Pro. And that's because I broke the screen on my 10 a couple weeks ago. I was pretty devastated about that. I really enjoyed the X, but so far I'm loving the 15. And I also have a wireless lapel mic that I'm recording from the very first time. So you guys are going to have to give me a little feedback. Let me know how it sounds, if it's good or if it needs to be upgraded or updated or whatever. I'll have to figure that out. But so I have a little stack here on the left. This is kind of a Lord of the Rings Hobbit pile. I picked this up for 15 bucks. We'll get into that. This was all four of these items I did not own already. So I thought that was a steal. I figure that's probably like about a um, $60 bundle I picked up for 15 bucks from a lady. I have some movies from Vinegar Syndrome here in this pile. I have kind of like a miscellaneous pile here. I picked up a Halloween Trilogy 4K Steelbook box set. I was not really in the market for this, but I stumbled across a deal I could not pass up. And we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. I picked up a pretty decent stack of DVDs that I've been wanting, and I included some Bigfoot movies that I never owned before. So I'm going to be probably recording my Bigfoot video tomorrow, which is Sunday. I know I've been talking about this for months and just haven't really had the itch to do it, but I feel like it needs to be done, and we're going to do it Sunday. And I have a Steelbook that I got from the Disney Movie Club, and I need your guys' feedback on that because it's a franchise that I kind of lost interest in over the years, and I this was one of the movies that they sent to me that I didn't decline it for the movie of the month, and they sent it to me automatically, and so here it is, and we'll talk more about that. And I got a pretty decent little stack here on the end of some kind of older, more rare westerns, American westerns, and serials from back in the 40s. And I also picked up a graded magazine or comic book, and I had this for a while and I can't remember if I showed it or not, so I threw it in with this pile here. And if I showed it already, I apologize. But so I'm going to pause it here and get kind of comfortable. I'm going to go get myself a beverage, and then we're just going to kind of start plowing through this stuff. I'll be right back. Okay, so we will start with the Actually, you know what? We will end with the Lord of the Rings stuff because I do want to do a flip through of this book. And I know a lot of people don't really like that. So I will leave that for the end. And if you want to check out before I go through the flip through, I don't blame you. And those who want to stick around, you can watch that. Let's go through some of these Vinegar Syndrome titles. Many of these, if not most of these, are very low quantity now. It's kind of a low quantity alert. So, and when I say that, it's down to just hundreds now. There's only hundreds of these left. So the first one here is called Angel. I know that they came out with a box set of this, but I wanted the single releases, and these are getting ready to go out of print. So this is the first one here. And then part 2 was called Avenging Angel. And I'll pause that and go through these once I show you all 3 of them. And then Angel 3, the final chapter. So I just wanted to kind of alert you guys if you're interested in picking these up. They are very low quantity, and you may want to jump on that sooner rather than later. I'm gonna pause it here, and we'll go through and check out the interior and read about these a little bit. Okay, so the first one, the original Angel, who is a high school honors student by day and a streetwalker, street worker, however you want to pronounce that, a Hollywood hooker by night. Really nice slipcovers, as we know about Vinegar Syndrome. They really do put a lot of effort and quality into their slipcovers. Here's the original artwork from back in the VHS days. And the first one here stars Betsy Russell, the very lovely, gorgeous Betsy Russell. Plays Angel. And there's the disc art there. And there is the reversible cover. These were fun little movie rental type movies to watch back in the 80s. So this first one came out in 1983. It is all region. I'm sorry, this one does not star Betsy Russell. This one stars Donna Wilkes. I know one of these starred Betsy Russell, and maybe it was the next one. This one stars Donna Wilkes. And let's see what else we can talk about this one. It has a newly scanned and restored in 4K from the 35mm inner positive. There's interviews, quite a few interviews, some deleted scenes. So these don't come with a booklet. I think a booklet was issued with the box set of this. I'm not sure. I didn't see any unboxings of it. Here's part 2. This one's Avenging Angel. This one has Betsy Russell in it, and there's Betsy Russell right there. Is that blurry? Another beautiful slipcover. It says it's 4 years later. She's graduating college. The cop who got her off the street has been murdered. Angel's back with a vengeance. So this one came out in 1984, so it's 1 year later. The movie takes place 4 years later, but it was released 1 year after the original. Again, it is all region, and this one does star Betsy Russell. I don't know why my phone won't it doesn't have a clear image here. I don't like that. The 10 was really good. I can get up and close on the lettering, and it wouldn't get blurry. So this is all new to me here with this new phone. I like it fine. It seems okay. There's not much of a difference to me between the 10 and the 15, other than the biggest difference to me was the sound. This phone sounds really good. It's very loud. It has kind of almost like a little subwoofer inside. The camera seems nice and clear, but when I try to get up to read something, I don't like that it gets blurry like that. I'm gonna have to figure out why. Is that it shouldn't be you shouldn't be going backward in quality when you're getting phones. All right, here's part 3, the final chapter. Angel spent years making men happy. Now it's time to make them pay. Angel 3, the final chapter. Looks like there's almost like water damage or something. I don't know. These didn't get wet, at least not here in my house. I don't know what that is. But here's the cover. You can tell that's a action movie from the 80s. It just has that vibe to it there. She's developed a taste for revenge. This one stars Maud Adams, I think, right? Maud Adams is in this one. Mitzi Capture. This one came out in 1988. So about 4 years after part 2, this one was released. Molly Stewart, played by Mitzi Capture. Let me see if I can get in a little bit here. I'm going to have to do some Googling. There's really no reason why I shouldn't be able to get right up without it being so blurry like that. That's trash. Let me see here. So I went back. Now you get the glare from the flash on there, though. So I went from 1 to 0.5, and it looks like it's able to read now the fine print, but now we have that big flash on the screen. Oh, okay. Now it's pretty clear. See, this is what happens when you have a boomer who's a little bit unsavvy with technology. But we'll do a quick recap here, and then we'll pause it and keep moving on. So you guys will have to let me know if you've watched any of these, if you remember these from back on VHS rentals back in the day. So we have the first one, Angel, and Avenging Angel, part 2, and Angel 3, the final chapter. And if you look at all the covers together side by side, it spells out Hollywood in the background. Nice little touch. Okay, so we're staying with the Vinegar Syndrome and the low quantity. This next one's called the Demon Rat. I've never seen this one before. They were down to just a couple hundred copies left. This was a limited edition of 3,000. I got number 1,799. And this one comes in the slip case. And the way I always try to describe this to people, the way that I guess classify these or categorize these, if it has a hole in the top and the bottom for the movie to slide in, this is a slip cover. This is my terminology. I've been using these terms for years. A slip case is a box that has 3 sides that are closed up like this one, and there's only one entry point. This is a slip case. So you have a slip cover with 2 openings and a slip case with 1 opening. And take a better look here at the artwork. Looks really good. I haven't watched this one yet. This is I guess the alternate, is that a Spanish title? Mutantes del Año 2000, Mutants of the Year 2000. La Rata Maldita, the Demon Rat. Really nice box. And then you have the movie on the inside, the Amaray case here. This is a movie from 1992. It is all region. It's directed by Ruben Galindo Jr. And let's see, this is in English language. I'm not seeing any subtitles listed here on the back. So I don't know if they just stopped counting those as a special feature. And this one doesn't say, oops, sorry about that. I don't know why it was so blurry again, but they don't list, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, I'm not sure if they do do it anymore or not. I'm going to pause it here and open this up really quick. Man, I feel really rusty. It hasn't been that long since I recorded a video, but I just feel like I'm starting over again from the beginning. I got to snap out of it here. Okay, I'm going to try to snap out of it here and try to get back on track. But I did take the plastic off. This one comes with a poster, which I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not at all interested in this artwork. I don't think it looks that good to me. I don't really think they needed to add a poster. I would rather have a booklet with a movie like this. To me, that artwork is pretty garbage. And I mean, it's pretty bad. I'm not a fan of the artwork. Don't really care about a poster for this one. I much would have had a booklet or art cards or something. But there's a reversible cover. This one is also very low quantity. I haven't checked in a couple weeks. It may even be sold out now. I don't know. But if you're interested, you may want to go over to the Vinegar Syndrome website and check it out and see if you can get one for yourself if you're interested. The next two are, I believe this one now is sold out. This is called Freeway, starring the beautiful Reese Witherspoon. And Freeway 2, I think this was very low quantity, or it may even now be sold out. Confessions of a Trick Baby. So this is, I believe both of these are 4K. And when I ordered this, they were really, really low, like down to single digits. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure this is sold out now. And this one was down to a couple hundred left, and it may be sold out by now. Because like I said, this was a couple weeks ago. And I know how people get when there's low quantities. People go nuts. So I'm going to have to pause it again and take this out of the plastic. We'll take a look at it. This is a movie from 1996. This is Region A, 4K. But from what I understand, 4K are region free. So it looks like it comes with 2 discs. It may be a 4K and a Blu-ray, so maybe that's why it's Region A on the back. Now that I'm thinking about it, that makes sense. They're probably counting the Blu-ray as Region A. Because you get the 4K disc, which is the uncut feature of Freeway, presented in 4K and newly restored from the 35mm original negative. And then you get the Blu-ray, which contains everything on the 4K disc plus special features. And it looks like they have some pretty good stuff on here for bonus features. There's one called The Vulgarity is Timeless. It's a 31-minute interview with the writer and director Matthew Bright. And you get quite a few little goodies thrown on here. A lot of good bonus materials. So it looks like this image here, this guy, hold on a minute. I got to figure out why this is starting to make me a little bit mad, why it gets so blurry. If you spend so much money to upgrade a phone, it shouldn't go down in quality. So this guy here in the middle with that gadget around his head, look how gorgeous Reese Witherspoon is. What a doll. but this is him on the back of the box. So let me pause it and we'll take the plastic off. Okay, so the plastic is off, and housed on the inside you have the 4K disc, and you have the Blu-ray disc, and there's a reversible cover on the inside which I'm assuming to be the original artwork for the movie. Have to admit, I've never seen these movies before, and I've never even heard of them. And I hate to sound negative, but there were really horror movies in the 90s and beyond were pretty lame. So I've never heard of this, and this is a later 96, is that what it said? Willing to give it a shot, but I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this. So that is Freeway. That's part 1 from 1996, and then Freeway part 2. I don't know if Reese Witherspoon is back. I'm going to have to look. Like I said, I never saw part 1. I don't know what happens to her character in part 1. So it doesn't look like Reese Witherspoon there. That almost looked like, what's her name? The girl from King of the Hill, Brittany Murphy. I don't think that's her, though. But it looked like her just for a split second. Now it doesn't, though. Let's see. You get the 4K disc, which contains the 98-minute feature presentation, presented in 4K and newly restored. You also do get it on Blu-ray as well. And there's a making of, documentary, interviews, all kinds of goodies here. This one came out in 1999. And the young lady's very beautiful. It doesn't say what her name is here on the back. So let me pause it and we'll pull this out of the plastic. Okay, so the plastic is off. We already looked at the slipcover. We already looked at the discs. There's the Blu-ray. There is the 4K. And then on the inside, there's the young lady. Although, okay, on the top it says her name is Natasha Lyonne, or Leone, or Lione. Also stars Vincent Gallo and David Alan Grier. I remember David Alan Grier from the In Living Color with the Wayans brothers and Jim Carrey back in the day. I don't know anything about these. If you guys want to comment down below without any spoilers and let me know what I'm getting into. I already have a huge to watch pile, and you can let me know if I need to put these up higher and watch these sooner, or if they're just you'll have to let me know. So I'm going to pause it here, put this stuff away, and we're going to keep moving. Okay, so sticking with Vinegar Syndrome and the low stock alert theme that we got going on here, this is another one called Night Scream. Another one that was very, very low quantity. I think there was only a couple hundred left. Haven't watched this one yet. This is another 4K. This is a movie from 1987. And it is all region Blu-ray. Looks like it's a high school slasher movie, those are pretty fun movies. So it's another 2-disc. You get the black case. I feel like we didn't go over the cover and give it its just due here. Looks pretty good. You got an eyeball on the grill. And then you have a swing tray. One of these discs popped out when I was opening it up. Oh, it's actually a 3-disc. Wow. Okay, so the first one is the 4K. The next one is the Blu-ray. It says Blu-ray Disc 1 and Blu-ray Disc 2. So we'll have to read on the back of the box what's up with that. But there's the alternate cover. That looks really cool. Tonight their cries will fall on dead ears. Night Screams. Looking forward to watching this one. So the 4K disc contains the 85-minute theatrical cut presented in 4K, high definition. The first Blu-ray disc contains everything that's on the 4K disc plus special features. And Blu-ray disc number 2 contains the reconstruction of the 80-minute pre-release cut of Night Screams, along with an introduction by the executive producer Richard Caliendo and producer co-writer Dillis L. Hart II. So that's cool. They gave you a couple different cuts of the movie, and they give you a bunch of bonus materials. This is a really nice addition. Don't know how the movie is, but I'm definitely willing to give it a shot. I do love these the 80s slasher movies. The high school slasher movies are pretty fun. A little bit of plastic here left over from the cellophane that was on there, but that is Night Screams from 1987, I think it was. 1987. And it has very low quantity, so go check that out. The next one is called Curse of the Screaming Dead. Now this one had a lot left. This was not in any danger of being sold out anytime soon, but this is one that I wanted to get. This cover looks amazing. Curse of the Screaming Dead. You got kind of a dead, kind of a withering away, kind of a zombie here. And this one came out in 1981 and 1982, and I'm not sure what that's all about, so we're going to have to read about that. It looks like there's two different cuts of the movie here. You get, from 1981, an 89-minute cut of the movie. In 1982, a 73 cut of the movie. It's been butchered by 16 minutes. It is all region. It's a trauma movie. So let's see here. There's 2 discs. Blu-ray disc 1, you get the 89-minute feature presentation along with the 73-minute film. Okay, it's a completely different film, so scratch what I just said. So Curse of the Screaming Dead is from 1981, 89 minutes running time. There's a bonus movie added on here called Night of Horror, which, is that right? Am I reading that right? It's 73 minutes, both newly restored in 2K from the 16mm camera reversals. And Blu-ray disc 2 contains nothing but special features, but there's a bunch of special features. There's a 50-minute documentary of the making of, and those are always amazing to watch those. There's a bunch of interviews. There's a lot of stuff on here. So I'm going to pause it really quick and take the cellophane off, and we'll look at the inside. Okay, so again, I love this cover. It looks really good. And this is probably a case where the cover is better than the movie, especially if it's a trauma movie, but there were some hidden gems that Trauma put out in the 80s. So this is the Blu-ray disc. Well, they're both Blu-ray discs. We just read on the back why there's 2 discs. One of them is just special features. Here's the alternate title called Curse of the Cannibal Confederates. That's the original Trauma cover, and I do remember this. I believe I have this on DVD. As a matter of fact, I think I have this twice. Once was a standalone DVD, and then one of them came in like a box set with some other Trauma movies in it. And yeah, I remember it not being very good, in the sense that, you know, it's not an award-winning movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still a fun watch, kind of a popcorn movie. Check your brain at the door. You don't have to do much thinking. Just pop it on and watch the foolishness that Trauma puts on. I say that in a loving way. I love Lloyd Kaufman, and I love Michael Hertz, and I love Troma, and I grew up watching these movies. I got nothing but love for Uncle Lloyd. So that is Curse of the Screaming Dead, and it came with the bonus movie. What was it again? Night of Horror from 1981. This one was not low stock, so don't worry about that. And I don't see this one selling out anytime soon. So you still have time if you're, you can put this lower on your urgency. Okay, so the last one here for Vinegar Syndrome. I believe there's still quite a few copies of this left too, but I wanted to grab this one. I like these horror movies from the 40s. Um, this one, I haven't seen this one yet, but it kind of reminds me of like a Val Lewton type movie. And this one's called The Cat Creeps. It's a Universal monster movie, and it says it will scare you out of your skin. I As I get older, I really love and I appreciate these older black and white movies, the old gangster movies, the old horror movies. I really, really love them. The old, the Twilight Zone show, it's all black and white. Uh, really, really enjoy these. So this is a movie from 1946. It's only 58 minutes long. And of course, it's black and white, region A. This was not directed by Val Lewton. This was directed by Earl Kenton. But it reminds me of something that Val Lewton would do. He had like, killer cats and stuff like that. Is that part of... Looks like my slipcover is kind of jacked up here. Is that part of the print? Hold on a second here. So you can get really close with this phone. You just have to kind of push a separate button. Because if I just tried to go in close without switching that button here, I'll show you really quick. So there's a 1x, 2, 3, and then there's a 0.5. So if I go to 0.5, maybe somebody can explain this to me. I'm not sure what this all means. But if I go to 0.5, it takes me way back. And then I'm able to kind of come in a little closer. And you can really get close on the words without them getting kind of washed out by the flash or just kind of blurred out. And then I just went back to 1. I'm not sure if that's just the way that the slipcovers are or if mine's a little bit banged up, but it's okay. I'm not really that concerned about it. There's the disc art. Very lovely brunette. And there's the alternate cover. So let's see if we can find out who the actress is, and we'll find out a little bit about the movie because I've never seen this one before. The looks like her name is Lois Collier. Okay, Noah Beery Jr. is in here. He's an A-lister from the back in the day. Fred Brady and Paul Kelly. I don't know those two gentlemen. It says when a wealthy widow spends a $1,000 bill. Let me redo that. When a wealthy, wow. When a wealthy widow sends a $1,000 bill to the local newspaper claiming murder, blackmail, a corrupt politician, and a $200,000 fortune to be had, it's up to the reporter, Terry Nichols, and photographer Pidge Flash Laurie to figure out the nefarious plot and clear the politician's name, but they won't be alone. Okay, so it sounds more like a film noir than it does a horror movie. So it's maybe a little bit misleading on the cover. But I do love femme fatale movies and film noir movies and movies from the 40s. So I'm sure I will definitely love this movie. And it's only 58 minutes, so that's perfect. That's a great running time for a movie like this. So I'm going to pause it really quick. We'll do a quick recap for the Vinegar Syndrome stuff, and then we'll keep moving. Okay, so I have the Angel trilogy, which I do remember these movies from back in the VHS days, and I've watched all 3 of these before, but it's been so long that it's almost going to be like these are new again to me. So you have the trilogy there. These two I have not seen yet, so you guys will have to let me know what I'm in for. That's Freeway and Freeway 2, Confessions of a Trick Baby. Then we have the limited numbered edition of The Demon Rat. We have a 80s slasher film called Night Screams. We have some 80s ridiculousness from Trauma, zombie movies, Curse of the Screaming Dead, which was also called Curse of the Confederate something or other. And then we have a film noir called The Cat Creeps. I think out of all of these movies here that I have picked out, I'm the most excited about this one for now. I'm glad to have the Angel trilogy. The other ones I just basically picked up because they were low stock quantity and I didn't want to pay triple for them in a couple months. So you guys will have to let me know how I did here, and let me know if I should bump any of these up on my to watch list. Okay, so we're going to pull now from this miscellaneous pile, and the first one up is called Horrors of the Black Museum. This one just recently came out, probably a couple months ago, from VCI, I believe. And I picked this up on Amazon about a month ago. And this is a movie from 1959, 93 minutes running time. And this is kind of a film noir type movie as well. It is this one comes with some pretty cool stuff though. So you get a double-sided wrap with the theatrical art and a new design. You get commentary, and you also get new for 2023 commentary by Robert Kelly, who is a noted film historian and artist. And you get the original US Hypno Vista opening featuring psychologist Emile Franchel. So this was directed by Arthur Crabtree in the late 50s. You get a bunch of other bonus features there. You can read those. And it says London is fear-struck and Scotland Yard is baffled by a series of strange murders that have plagued the city. Stories of the atrocities by crime journalists Edmund Bancroft. Yes, the same lovable Alfred Pennyworth from the new Batman movies. Come to their own conclusion missed by the Yard. So I was very interested in picking this up, and I'm glad I grabbed it. It says, featuring Emile Franchel, registered psychologist that greeted all American theatergoers on its initial release, features the classic eyeball gouging binoculars scene, very gruesome. It looks like it's in color from the screen grabs there. I assumed that this would be black and white, but it is not, and it's rated R too, which is another kind of fascinating detail because this is a British movie from the 50s, and they were always very cautious, overly cautious about their movies. That they had a lot of their movies cut back in the day. So there's the alternate cover, which looks pretty good too. I think I like this one a little bit better. But again, another movie that I'm telling you about that I have not watched yet. So if you guys want to comment down below and let me know what I'm getting into with this, let me know. The next one is this is a partner of Vinegar Syndrome. This is from one of their partner companies, and this is from AFGA. American Genre Film Association, I believe is what that stands for. But this is called the Bloodorama Triple Feature. Same kind of a Vinegar Syndrome style slipcover, very thick, very high quality. So you get 3 horror movies here in this little set. First one's called Help Me, I'm Possessed from 1974. And you get Night of the Strangler from 1972, and you get Carnival of Blood, 1970. And it looks like all of these have been upgraded to 2K from the 35 millimeter prints. And you can watch them uninterrupted in a drive-in mode, which I think is great. So it's a 266-minute running time for all three movies. And it's all region as well. I love the fact that if you want to, you can watch them back to back to back like a drive-in theater. There's the disc art. And then there on the inside, it just says, what does that say? Kurt Films International presents. And it shows, I'm assuming, one of the characters from one of the movies here in this nice little set. I picked this up for $20 with free shipping. So to me, that's well worth it. And I'm assuming that these movies are not going to be for everybody. There's a lot of people who are going to kind of poo-poo these movies. But I enjoy low budget, schlock horror like that. So it's right up my alley. I picked up, let's see, was there 3 total? I think one's still coming. I picked up 3 Arrow movies for $10 each. And these were brand new and sealed. These are movies that have been out for a long time from Arrow Video. They were on sale. They were 50% off. So I picked them up for $10. And I got free shipping because I have Amazon Prime. This is Slaughterhouse 5. And this is a movie that came out in 1972. It was released by Arrow Video in 2019. I'm assuming that they just have a surplus of stock on this movie and they just wanted to move them. So they actually, Amazon had them on sale. I don't know if it was their sale or Arrow's sale, but for $10 I grabbed these. I think there's 1 or 2 more still coming. And they're kind of older black and white film noir from Arrow Video. I'll show those in a different update. But there's the reversible cover, which to me doesn't really look very good. I don't think that's a good cover at all. It's almost very boring. This cover's not much better, but so Slaughterhouse 5. It was directed by George Hill. And this was from a book based on a novel from Kurt Vonnegut from 1969 novel. And it's a time travel alien abduction type movie. And the main character travels through time throughout this movie. I know that this movie has gotten mixed reviews. It's a very old movie. It's over 50 years old now. But it gets a mixed review. It almost seems like half the people love it and the other people hate it. There's really no middle ground for this movie, so I'm not really sure what to expect. I take movie reviews with a grain of salt. Same thing with these movie channels on YouTube. And you hear one guy say something about a movie and then 10 other guys say the exact same thing, and just it's almost like nobody has their own thoughts anymore. So I don't even watch movie collecting channels anymore, and I rarely watch anything, any kind of guy who talks, movie reviewers or anything like that. I watch movies. I form my own opinions. I enjoy what I like. And so, I go into movies open-minded. I always find something to enjoy in these movies. The second one is called The Big Clock from Arrow Academy. This was also $10. Ray Milland and Charles Laughton, excellent actors. I was always very high on Charles Laughton. I always thought he was an excellent actor. But ever since I read the story about him and his sandwich, I'm not going to get into it here. If you're interested in hearing, it's almost so crazy. It seems like it wouldn't be true, but I have a feeling it is true. And if you want to read about Charles Laughton and his sandwich, make sure you do it when you're not eating, because you will probably not want to eat for a day or two after you hear the story about Charles Laughton and his sandwich. It makes me queasy right now just thinking about it, but he was a great actor. This is another film noir movie from 1948. This is an unrated movie, 96 minutes running time. Maureen O'Sullivan is also in here. It's directed by John Farrow. It was adapted by acclaimed screenwriter Jonathan Latimer from the novel from crime author Kenneth Fearing. The Big Clock is a superior suspense film which which classily combines screwball comedy and heady thrills. So I added this to the collection for $10. There's Charles Lawton right there. And Ray Milland right there. There's the reverse. Actually, this is the cover that came with it, or that was on the front when I got it. I already flipped it before I put it on here. This is the inside reverse cover. I like this one a little bit better. It just seems classy. It has more of a kind of a throwback vibe, throwback feel to it. And it comes with an art card here for, what is this? Running Out of Time, an Asian action movie. And then on the back, it's just a little arrow advertising. So my two little arrow picks, Slaughterhouse-5 and The Big Clock. So this next one here is a Blu-ray upgrade for this movie. I already own it. This is called Night of the Bloody Apes. This is a special collector's edition. I believe this was also from VCI. I've been buying a lot of stuff from VCI lately. They have some pretty good stuff. They don't have a huge selection of movies on their website, but they do have some good stuff. And here was the DVD that I had already that had Night of the Bloody Apes. This was a double feature from Something Weird Video. Also had Feast of Flesh on it. This was the special edition DVD that came out years ago. Probably 10 or 15 years ago, this DVD came out. And this Blu-ray just recently came out, like within the last year, and it comes with this slipcover. Oh, this one has a double feature too. It says Doctor of Doom at the bottom. Comes with this slipcover. It kind of reminds me of like some of the old Herschel Gordon Lewis movies where it was just over the top gory, just for gory's sake. So in this set, you get the movie in color. The movie's from 1969, 83 minutes running time. You can watch it with English subtitles. It is all region, and it's a Blu-ray DVD combo. There's a new 4K uncut version of the film. So you get Night of the Bloody Apes, double feature, 4K restoration, Blu-ray DVD combo, plus Doctor of Doom. It says it's one of the first video nasties screams to the screen 4K uncut version. And that's just the slipcover. So here's what the wrap looks like. Half man, half beast, all horror. And here's the back. You can see the kind of the low budget. Hold on a second here. You can see the low budget makeup effects. And it looks like there, Night of the Bloody Apes is in color. See, when I zoom in like that, it makes the phone shaky. And Doctor of Doom is black and white, according to those screen grabs. And also according to the info down here, Doctor of Doom, 77 minutes running time, black and white, 1963, unrated, horror, sci-fi, English dub, subtitles. So you get bonus features. And on the inside, you get the disc, which looks really good. I like that disc art. And then you have the other side of the wrap. You can switch that around if you want to. And this one also comes with the DVD here. So you got the DVD on the left, you get the Blu-ray on the right, and then you get these little liner notes, which I think these look really cool. It has a kind of that retro vibe to it. And it has that same kind of art that came with the Something Weird Video DVD. And it just gives you little info and little screen grabs about the movies. Very nice. Good job, VCI. And I have some more VCI stuff I'll be showing you guys when I get to that Western pile. So I was happy to pick up Night of the Bloody Apes, and I've been on kind of an ape, Bigfoot, hairy man movie kick lately, so I picked this one up. I upgraded this one. I already had Night of the Bloody Apes on DVD. The last one here for this miscellaneous Blu-ray pile is, I guess, kind of an upgrade of one of my favorite mob movies of all time. I think it's number 2 to me to Goodfellas. So for me, it's Goodfellas. Then Donnie Brasco edges out Casino by a hair, but Donnie Brasco is an excellent movie. I think, in my opinion, it's Johnny Depp's best role. It's one of Pacino's best roles. These guys were great together in this movie. This was my previous Blu-ray release of it. I also have this on DVD. So the DVD edition I have just had the regular theatrical cut. I upgraded this years ago to the extended cut, which this movie is here. This one was put out in 2007. The movie came out in 1997, but this release came out in 2007. This release here is a 3-disc set, so you get the Blu-ray, DVD, and you also get the extended cut in this set. So you get here this is the theatrical cut, and then you get let me see, hold on a second, let me go back. So you got the theatrical cut on Blu-ray, and this is the 126-minute. Is this this is the DVD? Okay, that's what it was. I was getting a little confused. So this is the Blu-ray of the movie, theatrical cut. This is the DVD theatrical cut, and then this is the extended cut on Blu-ray. So you do get the nice the 3-disc set here, and then you can also flip that cover. But since it already had that same image on the slipcover, I flipped it to the older cover, which is kind of a throwback to the 2007 release of it. Love this movie. I think this movie is amazing. I've seen this movie probably a dozen times. I can quote lines in this movie from heart. The amazing thing about this movie, it was based on a true story about a New York cop who went undercover to infiltrate the mafia and to see how far he got. And he rose through the ranks, and it's just amazing. If you've never seen Donnie Brasco, check it out. You will love the movie. Even if you're not a big, mafia guy and you don't really care about mafia figures and all that stuff, it's an amazing movie. Johnny Depp is brilliant in the movie. Al Pacino's brilliant. Michael Madsen is also in here. He plays Sonny Red. No, he plays Sonny Black. I'm sorry. Sonny Red was played by another big name actor. Hold on, let me go through here. James Russo, I believe, is who played Sonny Red. Anne Heche was in the movie. She played Johnny Depp's wife. She was great in this movie. Bruno Kirby is also in here. Rest in peace. This was kind of their crew right here. Let me see if I can. So that was Johnny Depp's crew there. You can see Donnie Brasco on the right, and then Bruno Kirby to his right, to our left. And then you got Michael Madsen, who played Sonny Black, and you have Al Pacino, who played Lefty. I don't remember the character there next to, I don't remember his name next to Pacino there, but great movie. So I'm going to pause it here and keep moving. Okay, the gang is still here. We're in like ultra chill mode today. I got a couple candles lit there. I got one there. I got one over here. And I'm going to go through now and show you guys the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff that I picked up. I thought I got a really good deal on this. I'm going to be doing a Hobbit Lord of the Rings overview video pretty soon to show you guys some things I added to my collection. This one I already had, but she added it to this little lot that I picked up. This is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers on DVD and widescreen, which I already have this, and I didn't really care about this, but it was part of this lot. So I paid $15 for that movie, and then I also got the DVD box sets with the extended cuts of all three movies. So this was Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. These are all in really, really nice condition. Not going to go through all of these, but I already have all of these movies on Blu-ray and 4K and the extended cuts and everything. But I've never owned these sets, and I really wanted to get these just to add them to the collection. These are beautiful sets. I'm going to be getting the Hobbit DVD box set to the extended cuts, even though I have all those on Blu-ray and 4K. These are nice little 4-disc sets, and comes with a booklet in each one. To get all this stuff for $15 was a steal for me. It was an easy buy for me. And just being a collector, I like to grab all this stuff. Wanted to add these to the collection. I always liked these. These always used to be very expensive, but I will never watch these on DVD since I have them on 4K. But so it's nice to have these 3 sets. And usually these sets now will go for about $10 a piece. Anywhere from 10 to 15 a piece. So you figure that's we'll even put that on the low end. This is probably $30 here alone. And then this is probably a $5 DVD now. So that's probably $35. And I'm just kind of guessing on the low end here. And then the last thing that I really like, this is a hardcover book this is The Hobbit. The dust jacket's a little beat up. This is the illustrated Hobbit book. It was illustrated by Alan Lee. And usually this book goes anywhere from $25 to $30 in this condition. It can go a little bit higher even. But to get everything that you saw here for $15, I think I got it's like about a $60 or $65 value in my low opinion, on the low end. So, get a $60 lot for $15 is excellent for me, and I grabbed it. Some pretty good stuff in here. Alan Lee is a British artist, and he has illustrated tons of Middle-earth stuff over the years. You'll see his name on just about everything that's Lord of the Rings or Hobbit related that has anything that has artwork in it. So just wanted to show that stuff really quick. Glad to have that in my collection for that price. I thought that was a very good buy. So the next thing here this was not even on my radar. I like these movies. I just didn't plan on picking this up. This was always very expensive, and this is the 4K Halloween Trilogy box set. It was a Best Buy exclusive, and these are going anywhere from, I don't know, 120 to 150 for this box set. I got this for $80, which is still pretty expensive, but to save that kind of money, there's nothing wrong with it. It's still sealed. We're going to open it up here and go through it. But you get all the latest 3 movies on 4K Steelbook, the Halloween Trilogy, and these come with 4K Blu-ray and digital codes. If you guys want a code, let me know, comment below, and I'll get the code to you. I used to just, show the picture of them, but people would take them and not say anything, and I didn't know if they were being used. Nobody would say anything or thank you or anything, so I stopped doing it that way. But if you want one, I'll get it to you. So I'm going to pause it here. I'm going to take my little knife, gently slice this open, and we're going to go through and check out the Halloween Trilogy Steelbook Best Buy exclusive. Okay, so the plastic is off. I got this little cardboard garbage on the back. a little J card type deal. We'll look at that in a minute. Just want to kind of look over here at the artwork on this little tin box set here that houses the 3 steelbooks. I took those out already. There's a nice little foam kind of a core on the inside of this shell here. It's beautiful. I like these movies. I think they're good. I've actually haven't seen Halloween Ends yet, but I liked Halloween and Halloween Kills. I thought they were good, and it's time to say goodbye to Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she's a great actress. I got fingerprints there. I have I put a little salve under my nose. It's that Vicks Vapo Rub, just to kind of help the sinuses a little bit. And I got a little on my finger there, but I can wipe that off later. And no, that's not from inside my nose. That's just from I don't put it in my nose. I know it's probably pretty gross. Let's keep moving here. So it's a nice, beautiful little tin. I like this little tin. I have an idea where I want to place this to show it off too in my living room on top of a shelving unit. So let's see here. This is the first one, first steelbook, Halloween. I think these are pretty nice. I'm gonna pan over to the side so you guys can't gank my digital code, because if somebody does want that, I will hook you up. So here's the 4K disc, and then underneath that you have the regular Blu-ray disc. And I didn't even realize that this came with a certificate of authenticity, but I have number 642 out of 5,325. And I don't understand why they would release a strange number like 5325. That's very bizarre. There must be a reason for it. I just can't figure it out now. But yeah, I got number 642. So that was the first one, Halloween. And then Halloween Kills is the next one here. So you can see the house there in the front. I like the colors. I like everything's black and orange. I like the franchise colors. There's Michael Myers standing in that last scene. There's no way he should have survived that. I have a couple of issues with this last little trilogy, but it is what it is. I mean, these are silly horror movies. Here's the 4K and the Blu-ray. And then the third one, and the one I have not seen yet, this is called Halloween Ends. There's JLC. There's MM. There's the BR and the DVD, and then there's I think there's a picture of Biden. I don't know why they have a picture of Biden on the back there, but we're all doomed. We're all doomed. There's the Steelbook trilogy in 4K. Glad to have that. $80. I thought it was a great deal. And I asked the guy, it was on Mercari, and I asked the guy, is there any damage to it? Why are you selling it for 80? Is it DVDs or what's going on? No, there's no damage, nothing that I'm aware of. And I was still kind of leery, and I was expecting it to be a little bit dinged up when I got it, and I was going to keep it for $80. I was going to keep it. But I mean, this thing seems pretty flawless, so I'm pretty happy with this. All right, enough about the Halloween box set, and we're going to move on to the DVD pile. Okay, so moving right along, and this video seems like it's very long. Maybe we should move a little quicker here. So this next one, you guys know I've been talking about this quite a bit the last couple months. I've been adding to my Bigfoot, Yeti, Sasquatch collection. This is one of the newest releases I picked up. And this is kind of an upgrade, in a way, to the one I owned before that. But these are both on DVD, so it's not really an upgrade. It just has better artwork, I think. These both came out from oldies.com, I think. So I had this one for a long time. This is called Snow Creature, half man, half monster. This cover is not very good, in my opinion. If you have a Sasquatch movie you should definitely feature the Sasquatch on the cover, not a couple of blokes in their, their snowsuits, and just have a little monster in the background. It should be vice versa. Um, this movie is from 1954, black and white, 69 minutes running time. I picked this one up recently. It's the same exact movie. It just has a better cover, in my opinion. They made it look like it was a VHS rental. The cover looks way better. And they could probably even do better than this, I think. But I just like the way that this one looks. So I do have doubles of this now. It's the same movie. Very low budget sci-fi movie from the 50s. But I love these movies. They're great. This one needs a Blu-ray release. It doesn't have one yet. This is called Bigfoot. Um, don't ask me how, but they actually got John Carradine to play in this movie. And it was near the end of his career, but this movie is very, very low budget, very ridiculous, but it's a fun movie. America's Abominable Snowman. So the whole gist of this movie is Bigfoot is capturing beautiful women, and he's abducting them with hopes of mating with them. And the movie itself it's pretty ridiculous. It's very low budget, and it was from 1970. But I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was great. This movie doesn't have a very good picture quality. This is the only way that you can get it on DVD from Cheesy Flicks. I don't know if you, shit, hold on a second. I want to zoom in on that logo so you can see that. Right there, Cheesy Flicks. So this guy makes copies of movies. It's an official movie, but it looks like it has the quality of somebody who would record this from VHS to VHS. I mean, it's pretty low quality. This one definitely needs a Blu-ray release, and a company like Vinegar Syndrome could probably do this very well. Get a hold of this, scrub it up a little bit, put it out in a nice little edition, and I think this movie would be very popular. It's a pretty fun movie. But that edition right there, the quality is very poor. So the next movie here is called Snow Beast. This was an import. I think I imported this one from, was it Germany or Italy? I can't remember. I buy so many things, I can't remember where I got stuff from. This might even be the UK release of it. This is a low budget movie with John Schneider, who played Bo Duke on The Dukes of Hazzard. Right there, you can see John Schneider in the red jacket there. This is another very low budget movie, but I enjoyed this. It came out in 2011, so it's been out for a long time now, over a decade already. I don't believe this has a US release yet. I could be wrong about that, but I had to import this one. That's called Snow Beast. The monster looks pretty cool in this movie. It's practical effects, so it's a guy in a rubber, furry suit, but it works. It's pretty good. Is it great? No, not at all. It's just a fun B movie. Here's one I haven't watched yet. This is another Bigfoot movie. It's called The Sighting. It says some things are better left unseen. This was put out by a company called Level 33. Don't know anything about them. The movie itself came out in 2016. And I'm looking forward to checking this out. You'll be seeing some of these again very soon because I'm going to be doing my Bigfoot collection overview. I may do that tomorrow on Sunday. Here's another one I just recently picked up. Haven't watched it yet. It's called Territorial Behavior. It's another Bigfoot movie. This one's put out by Brink Vision and MVD Visual. These don't have Blu-ray releases. That's why there's a bunch of DVDs here in this video. Next one's called Feed the Gods. Creepy, hair-raising, and totally entertaining. Another Bigfoot movie. Put up by MVD Visual. This one, let's see here. This one came out in 2014. You can see what the creature looks like there. Very pretty, pretty little girl, young lady. And another one that I haven't watched yet. I just recently picked this up within the last couple weeks. And this is the unrated director's cut of The Wild Man of the Navidad, based on true events, apparently, from the producer of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which was the 2003 TCM. And it says here that it's a creepy southern fried creature feature with a slasher movie twist. So I wanted to grab that one. This was put out by MPI. It's a movie from 2007. Looks like it's kind of a backwoods type Bigfoot movie. Takes place in 1975. Pretty cool. Glad to have that. So, and then there's one more here called Mountain Devil. I think this is put up by, is this Wild Eye? Yep, this is Wild Eye. So this is Mountain Devil. Haven't watched this yet either. I haven't had much time to watch these. According to this, it's based on true events. You can see there the Wild Eye logo. This was released in 2016. Based on true events in the Appalachian Mountains. I enjoy the Bigfoot movies. I think they're really good. So this next little trilogy I stumbled across. I'm constantly on the lookout for movies. Being a collector, I'm always either scanning eBay, Mercari, Etsy. I'm Googling things. I'm constantly looking for movies, and I came across this little trilogy here, and I'm not really expecting a lot from it, but I wanted to grab it, and this is called Terror at Black Tree Forest. I think these are also Wild Eye releases. So there's a trilogy. Hold on, do I have these in the right order? This is another backwoods slasher movie. Yeah, this is the right order. Okay, so it goes like this. This is the first one, Terror at Black Tree Forest. It's kind of a scarecrow-looking slasher monster killer. This one came out in 2010. It's 65 minutes running time, which is almost nothing. You know, you can blink a couple times and the movie's over. So I haven't watched these yet, but I wanted to grab these. The price was very fair, very low. Part 2 is called Escape to Black Tree Forest. And this one came out 2 years later in 2012. It's unrated. This one's 88 minutes. So they raised the bar a little bit. You can see that it's very, very low budget. But I enjoy these kind of movies. It looks like it may be shot on video, but I'm not sure if it is. And part 3 is called Black Tree Forest 3, Your Final Nightmare. And this one came out in 2012. So they shit out a trilogy in like a 3-year span. You know, they put 3 movies out. I'm looking forward to this. New Campers, New Blood. I like the backwoods slasher movies. If anybody has seen any of these, let me know. Don't spoil it, but just kind of, you know, give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down. And I'm going to pause it here for a minute. This next one I picked up pretty cheap. I do love holiday-themed horror movies, holiday-themed slasher movies. Even if they're bad, I still like them. And this is called Elves. I don't know anything about this, but it looks really low budget. Put up by a company called Uncorked. I picked this up on Amazon. I think I paid about $10 for it. I wouldn't be surprised if you find this at a Dollar Tree for $1.25, but I wanted to grab it. So, and it looks here, it says bonus features. You have cast interviews and official trailer. So there's not a whole lot going on here, but I really enjoy, for some reason, I enjoy these holiday themed horror movies. As ridiculous as some of them are, I still enjoy them. And then this last little box set. This is something I've been kind of eyeing for a while. It's been on my wish list, and I do love compilation DVDs with horror movie trailers. And this one's called Festival of Fright. And so Festival of Fright was a series that they released 3 DVDs that were trailer compilations, and then they released them all in one set too. So you can get them individually or you can get them all in one set. From what I understand, this set with all 3 is getting to be a little bit harder to find. It's becoming more rare. I'm pretty sure it's out of print. But this is the 3-disc set in the box set. So you can get them individually or, like I said, in this box set. I wanted to get it in one box. You have over 100 classic monster and horror movie trailers on 3 discs. I love this kind of stuff. I think it's great. And this was put out by a company called themonsterclub.com. It was, I believe it wasn't, there wasn't like a high number of releases for this. It wasn't like mass produced or anything. It's kind of a low quantity run. And you can see down here, they also had, hold on a second. See if I can get in close here. So it was put out by Shout Media / Sugo Music / Synergy Entertainment. And it came out in 2010. I wanted this for a while. I'm glad I have it now. And at the top there, it says monsterclub.com presents. I've never went to the website. I don't know if it exists or what, but, and this was only released on DVD. It's a treasury of classic horror movie trailers. The Festival of Fright collection contains over 3.5 hours of frightfully fun horror film previews, an avalanche of chills and thrills with monsters, madmen, and creatures from beyond the grave. Your favorite film fiends of yesteryear are back in over 100 weird and wild trailers designed to keep horror fans coming back. Their local theater week after week. And you can see some of the movies that are, I'm not going to go through them, but if you want to pause it and read, you can see some of the movies that you can see the trailers of. And then they come in a slipcover. This one's still sealed. I haven't even opened it yet. But on the inside, you can see in these little slim packs, they have Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3. Very glad to have this. So I will pause it, and we're getting to the end here, so we will wrap this up very shortly. Okay, so this next one is where I need your guys' help, or not really help, but just your feedback, I guess. So I'm a member of the Disney Movie Club, and I've talked about this many, many, many times on the channel. Each month, they send you a Disney choice of the month, and they'll pick a movie. I don't know if it's randomly or how they do it, but you have a certain amount of time. I think you have like 28 to 30 days to accept it or decline it. If you don't do either, if you don't accept it or decline it, they automatically send it to you and they bill whichever credit card or debit card you have on file. So I did not decline this, so they sent it to me and they charged me for it. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, and I'm going to briefly talk about that. The original trilogy are excellent. The original Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi are gold. Those are excellent movies. I grew up with those movies. I love those movies. I've seen them many, many, many times. When I got into I shouldn't say when I got into, when they started to re-release, when they started to release more Disney or more Star Wars movies, and Disney owns them now, I was not very impressed. And I actually, I don't watch them anymore at all, and I haven't watched many of them. I like the original trilogy. The rest to me is subpar, and I could do without it. But with that said, this is a series. I believe this is on Disney or Netflix. I don't know where this is from. I don't do digital, so I don't know. But they sent me The Mandalorian, the complete first season Steelbook, and it's a Disney Movie Club exclusive. So I have it. I've heard pretty good things about The Mandalorian. And this is where you guys come in. I'm going to watch this eventually. Is this something I need to watch now right away, or is this something I can kind of pepper in when I get time? It's a pretty cool steelbook. Here's the J card. Looks like it's a 4-disc set. So you get 8 episodes on Blu-ray and DVD. I know they have more than one season out, but this is just the first season on Steelbook. The cover looks cool. I always liked Boba Fett. I thought he was one of my favorite characters from the original trilogy, but I don't know anything about this franchise here, anything about this series. So you get, there's the discs there, there's some artwork in the back. I always liked the character Boba Fett. He was a bounty hunter. He was not really a good guy, not really a bad guy. He was just kind of out looking for himself. At least that's the way I took him. I'm not I'm not a Star Wars expert at all. I don't even know the names of these ships or critters and creatures like some of these guys talk about. But I always kind of thought that Boba Fett was just kind of for himself as a bounty hunter, not good or bad. But I mean, it's a cool looking steelbook. I think they charged me $30 for this, which is a lot, But it is a Disney Club exclusive, and I'm glad to have it. I'll throw this J card away when the video is over. I don't keep those anymore. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that series if you've watched it. Is it something I need to watch now, or can I put it off for later? Whatever. Okay, so this last pile of movies I'm going to go through. These are old westerns. I'm going to show you guys this magazine I have graded. I'm going to go back and show you the Bolg statue that I got there, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about that Azog mask, and then we'll. Oh, I have a poster I want to show too. I got a signed poster, theatrical poster. But so this pile here, this was another kind of a cheap lot. I think I paid $10 for all of these. And these are all old westerns. Most of these are put out by VCI. This one is called Wild West Days, starring John Mack Brown, restored from the 4K masters, put out by VCI. All right. So you can see that these are old. These are probably from the 30s. This DVD came out in 2021, but the movies were probably from the 30s, I would say. This is going to drive me nuts with that, how everything gets blurry like that. So, black and white from 1937. There's optional subtitles. You can see the chapter titles for these old movies. It's a 2-disc set. I like those old covers. They look really good. 13 roaring chapters of Pioneer Days. Those are the old serials that they used to have. This one's called Fighting with Kit Carson, with Johnny Mack Brown again, blazing the trail of the Pioneer West. Another serial with 12 chapters. Another VCI release. This one was released in 2005. It's, let's see, 1933. The next one's called The Red Rider. It's 15 chapters, starring Buck Jones, a cyclone of Western action and thrills, restored in 2K. Another one from VCI. From 1934, 310 minutes running time, 15 chapters. Another 2-disc set. The next one is called Gordon of Ghost City. It's another 12-chapter serial starring Buck Jones. Universal Pictures. Cliffhanger Collection. Hiccuped a little bit there. Restored in 2K from the original film masters. Also co-stars Madge Bellamy. VCI. Let's see, this one was from 1933. 220 minutes running time. Let's see some of these names here. Director Ray Taylor, starring Buck Jones, Madge Bellamy, Walter Miller, Tom Ricketts, William Desmond, I've heard of him before, and Francis Ford. Wasn't William Desmond brutally murdered in Hollywood? There was a story behind that. One of his friends was I'm trying to think here, was a movie star, a very lovely, beautiful movie star. And I think she got involved in drugs, and I think he got the drug dealer to stop coming around or something like that. And somebody ended up murdering him. They think she had something to do with it. I don't know the whole story. You might want to look that up. But this one's called The Vanishing Legion, starring Harry Carey. 12 chapters, classic movie serials, starring Frankie Darro, William Desmond again, Yakima Canet, and Joe Bonamo, and Edwina Booth. Is that the same William Desmond? I wonder. Just Google William Desmond and look at his murder, and you'll be able to find that. He was kind of a creepy looking guy too, if I remember. Kind of spooky looking. This one's called The Vigilantes Are Coming. 12-episode serial. You got Gwyn Big Boy Williams is in here. I have no idea who that is. Yep, William Desmond again. And the last one is called The Vigilante Fighting Hero of the West. From 1947. I think this is a fan made. The other ones are authentic from VCI. This one came with that lot, but it looks like to me, it just looks, if you look at that, it looks like it's fan made. It's purple, so I haven't popped it in or anything. The other ones are authentic. I think this one was just a fan made. It just has a different look to it. I mean, it looks great. I'm glad to have it, but these are just kind of rare, obscure. There's nothing really valuable here. I got these really cheap, but these are not something you're going to find very often. And being a fan of Westerns, I wanted to grab these. So we'll do a quick recap here. We have Fighting with Kit Carson. And we have Wild West Days. The Red Rider. Gordon of Ghost City. The Vanishing Legion. The Vigilantes Are Coming. And The Vigilante. Glad to have these, and I look forward to checking these out. These will probably be rainy day movies for me on a Sunday, one day. If it's just raining all day, there's nothing going on, I'll probably pop these in and binge them. The next thing here, I can't remember. I've had this for a while now. For some reason, I feel like I forgot to show this. But if I showed it before, you're going to see it again. This is called Vampiris Carmilla. And this is a graded comic. I purchased this on Mercari. It's a 9.6 out of 10, white pages. This is #1 from 2021. Terrifying Tales of Enchantment and Horror, Vampiress Carmilla. This is kind of I guess, kind of an homage to Vampirella, I guess. I didn't pay very much for it. So I just wanted to kind of show this. And I'm going to show this poster really quick. This is a theatrical poster. It's a 27 inches wide by 41 inches, or 40 inches long. And this is the theatrical poster for the movie Tombstone. And it has signatures from the 4 actors. There you have Val Kilmer in his autograph, Sam Elliott, Kurt Russell, and the late great Bill Paxton. And this is easily one of, if not the very best Western movie ever made. And it's based on a true story. It's a great movie. So I'm glad to have that. I also picked up you guys saw this earlier in the video, but I picked up a statue of Bolg, and this is from a company called Weta in New Zealand, WETA. They're kind of they're very comparable to like Sideshow from the US. And actually, I think they team up together quite a bit to make some things. I'm not sure if they're owned by the same group, but I know Weta and Sideshow do things together in collaboration. This is a beautiful statue here of Bolg, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get in really close to show you all the details here, but it's a beautiful statue. It's limited to 1,000. And on the bottom of the base, it tells you what number you have. It's handwritten. I think I have number 370 out of 1,000. Comes on this really cool base. It's very heavy. It's about 15 pounds. It's a very solid figure here. I'm going to try to spin it so you can see some more of the detail. Check out his belt buckle with that skull on there. And if you look close, let me see if I can get in a little bit better. If you look at his loin cloth, or whatever you want to call that, it's actually pieces of skin of faces of dwarves that he's killed. You can see the faces of the dwarves that he killed and sewed the faces together to make his loin cloth. He's got some armored boots. He has pieces of armor embedded into his skin. In my opinion, he's the most fierce orc. He's the son of Azog. And Azog was the chief orc from the Gundabad orc tribe for years, but he was killed by Thorin Oakenshield in Battle of the Five Armies. So after Azog was killed, Bolg was the leader for over 150 years. You can see there on the back too. You can see how the skin is kind of pinkish, like it's almost kind of sore, where the metal is just kind of like jammed into the skin. See the back of his feet. You can also see that his head looked like at one time his head was kind of cracked open. They never got into it on the series of how he got injured, but if you look at the top of his head, let me see here, it looks like his head was split wide open and they closed it back up with like straps of metal that were just kind of nailed to his skull. I think he's a great character. He's my favorite character in the whole series, Bolg. I didn't like the way that they ended him. I don't think it was pretty ridiculous how Legolas killed him. Now, Legolas was an excellent warrior. He was an elf warrior, but he was a ranged warrior. He was an archer. And the way that they had Legolas kill Bolg in hand-to-hand combat was just ridiculous to me. That's why I gave the series a 9 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of 10. There were some pretty ridiculous things that happened in there. There's no way Legolas could have killed Bolg hand-to-hand. In my opinion, it just didn't make any sense. So here is Azog. He was the chief orc for many years. He was feared by everybody. He worked directly for Sauron, and he was Azog the Defiler. He ended up he killed the king under the mountain. He was responsible for killing Thorin Oakenshield. They killed each other in the last scene, if you remember, when they were fighting on ice. They both died from the battle. They killed each other. He was by far the strongest and best warrior on the orc side of things. It's a really cool mask. I'm gonna try to fill this with silicone. This is from Trick or Treat Studios. I think Azog is probably my second favorite character. I like Lurtz too. He was a good fighter. I seem to be drawn to the villains for some reason. I just think they're cooler. They're pretty fun. That whole series was awesome. I really enjoyed it. I've been going through and rewatching The Lord of the Rings, the extended versions of the film. I've been watching those lately, getting back into it. But so that was my little update video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna try to fill this with silicone just to make a bust out of it. Right now I have a bunch of garbage bags kind of crumpled up and pushed into his head just to kind of keep it filled out so it doesn't kind of collapse in. And I just have it kind of sitting on a pole here. This is not where it's going to stay. I just put it here to show you guys in the video. But it's a really nice likeness of Azog the Defiler. And it was way cheaper than the bust that they're selling. There's a really cool bust. I think it's from Sideshow Collectibles, and I think it's going for about $400, $500, where this was under $50. And it looks just as good if you ask me, but I have to figure out a way to fill it. All right, that's going to do it for the video. I don't even know how long. This seems like it was a long one, but thank you guys for tuning in. It's always good to have you into my home and share my collection with me. And for my beautiful dogs, Miss Hannah and Miss Heidi, I'm your boy, Toddy Walnuts. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Later.